Hello all, welcome to my channel 1930 Eve Customs. My name is Siobhan and I will be creating art with tumblers, clothing, and more. Today, I will be creating a 3D tumbler nutcracker cake using the cake sleeve shown here from Dimensional Drinks. I will add the link below. So let's get to it. So here are the supplies needed for this nutcracker cake. I have a dark red, gold, blue paint, Sculpey 3 clay, baked clay. All the pieces I'm going to use to make out of the clay for the cake. If needed, I will have liquid Sculpey clay, some water to wash the brushes, clay roller, a few different size paint brushes, clay tools. If I decide to use flowers, I have a mold to use with the clay also, and wax paper to put the clay pieces on right before I bake them, alcohol, I think mine is 90 proof, the glue to glue the cup together, my crystal lac, and of course the cup. I have already pre-glued it, and these are the colors I'm going to choose: teal, red, and gold. Also, I haven't decided whether I was going to glitter it out or not, but I have ruby red slippers from Make It Flow, mint from Recollections, bought at Michael's, also the gold, bright mint, and holographic mint, also bought at Michael's, also made from Recollections, if I decide to do that. So with that said, let's get started. Okay, I'm going to start by painting. Everything is pre-sanded, cup and all, and cleaned, so the paint can stick to the tumbler. So I'm just going to paint smooth, thin strokes. You can tape it up if you want to. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. If I make a little mess, I just correct it towards the end, or it'll cover up with a darker color, in my case. I do thin coats so I won't have it very clumpy. If you wanted to just add glitter to this, you could add it while it's wet. But since I'm not sure what I want to do yet, I'm just gonna do one coat so far and see how it looks. See if I need another coat, or if I want to color it, glitter it. Or if I just want to leave it, just paint it. Rinse it out. Oops, sorry if my hand got in the way. Forgot a napkin. Put that down. Get a napkin. Hold on. I just had a little bit of an accident and I spilled the water, but thank God it didn't get on the camera. So now that that's clean, the brush going to put the red on. The easier way would probably be to have a stand, and I made a homemade stand with pool noodles and a toilet paper stand, so it could be held a little bit better. Just stick it in. That way it'd be easier to hold while you work. Sometimes I just forget. It's the excitement of getting stuff done. So you're gonna go around and paint all the edges like you did. So it's like a burgundy red. I couldn't find the color I wanted, so I used my Angelus paint. So the color I'm using is Scarlet Red from Angelus Paint. I'm just going to paint all around carefully as not to get it on the teal, because it's a very dark color. Paint it all the way. You see how I got some edges here? That can be fixed later after it dries. Or you can also tape it up, and that should make it easier for you too. But it always just depends on my mood when I do it, and for you, whatever's easier. So I got that part. And now I can stand this up. Hopefully you can still see it. And paint this. Now, I'm not sure if it dried all the way. You might have to wait till it dries. Yep, I might have to wait till it dries to paint the top, so I can wipe the paint off. Just disclaimer, that might be the best thing to do. But you know, I'm not listening to my own advice right now. So just wanted to show you. I'll come back and have it fixed and you'll see. So that's 2 layers. Now I'm gonna clean it. Hopefully I don't have another accident. So the color I'm using is like that. And I'm gonna add the gold. Hopefully I got the red out enough so it doesn't show. Okay, good. These paints are very thick. Just making sure you're still in the frame. Yes. Okay. I think this is a very beautiful color combination. Still very holiday. It's a little different. Funny story. I was trying to come up with ideas for my Christmas tree like I do every year. So this year, I was like, I didn't do any nutcrackers. And mind you, this was like in September when I was trying to think of things. I didn't look up anything to see what the popularity theme for Christmas and stuff was this year. And don't you know it? It's nutcrackers. And another funny thing, even though it's not quite the same color scheme, the color scheme for most nutcrackers in the stores is light teal and light pink. Go figure. I must have had a sixth sense about that. Must have knew that was going to be the theme. So I'm going to have this nutcracker cake, tumbler, but I'm also going to have a nutcracker tumbler, and that will be the next video coming. And also I'm going to show you my tree when I'm finished with that. Not sure if that's any of that's going to be a video tutorial, but we'll see. So here's the layer. Gotta let this dry so I don't have the same errors like before. Nice and smooth. Alright, nice and smooth. Let it dry. Usually about, I don't know, I want to say 15 to 30 minutes. I usually let it dry. I know everybody has different time periods. And I will come back when it's dry. So this is the first layer I have for all of them, for all three layers. We got teal, deep red or scarlet red, and gold for this nutcracker cake. I'm going to do another coat after 15 to 30 minutes, letting it dry, and then I'm going to fix the errors of painting over it. I should have did the teal last, but I can fix it. So stay tuned. I'll be back when it dries. FYI, you could use a heat gun on these sleeves, but you got to be very careful because it's plastic and it can warp. So I recommend just letting it sit for the 15 to 30 minutes so it's not, doesn't warp the plastic. But if you must use it sparingly and kind of from a distance. I should have left that alone. Be back in a few. So here I painted the bottom. This is one layer, but I think I decided I'm gonna just glitter it. So you can do like 2 coats so you don't, so it covers it better. But I want to show you what you can do to hide the glitter. So to apply the glitter, you can apply it with glitter glue, which I usually use Crystalax glitter glue, and it's very well. Works very well. Excuse me. Take your choice of glitter. Actually, always have something under it, because then it becomes too much of a mess and a hassle to clean up, especially because it's glitter. This is too big. Look at it. This is what I'm putting down. And while this is wet, nice and smooth, while this is wet, I'm going to take glitter and I'm going to apply it like so. If you don't have glitter glue, this is a way of covering it. My sides are probably dry, but And if, like you see here, if there's, you can still see through it, you can wait, let it dry, and apply glitter glue, which I think is the best way to do it. But it can work painting wise also. But in my experience, I've always done better with the glitter glue from Crystal. Yeah, see, this is dry, so since it's, oh no, it's still a little wet, still a little tacky. Let me get my fingerprints off that. I'm not sure if all of it's wet. So I'm gonna apply some more. I'll show you both ways, but it's a lot easier to do with the glitter glue. Not impossible to do it this way, just easier with the glitter glue. Just thought I'd show you two different ways of doing it. Just apply the glitter slowly, turning it up. Careful not to get it on the other stuff. It should be dry, but if it's not, I apologize. At the time I thought it was dry. You just finish glittering it. And usually the dry patches will be, the empty patches would be dry. So those are the parts that either need more paint or glitter glue. I did get it a little in there, but I don't mind because I like things blending, and if I put the other color, it might not show anyway, so that's great. You can also tape it up so you don't get, after it dries, I would suggest maybe masking tape because it won't pull off the paint so much. But then you can also put it down on the glitter and it should cover up spots. And you just tap it. Right, and then you got your sides mostly done, and the bottom. You take the glitter, open the container, and save some for another day like so. Or for your next coat. Close it, put it to the side, and I will stand this up and let it dry. Now I'm applying the glitter glue. First you dust the glitter off, then I already dusted it previously. First you dust the excess glitter off, and then you put the glitter on, the glitter glue on, excuse me. You apply gently, don't brush too hard. Brushing hard leaves streaks. As gently as possible. And I use the makeup brushes like a lot of customizers do because it's very light and easy to use. But you can use any brush you feel comfortable with. And get it fully covered, and then just go around like I did with Use the paint. Try to get the edges as much as possible. Turn it, put it on an angle. It'll cover a little easier. Should get the edges and everything. And you can also do as many coats as needed when you're applying this, but you just have to wait, I believe, an hour with the glitter glue. Let's see. After an hour, you can press the glitter down to make it smooth. And if needed, you can apply a second coat. It usually only needs about 2 coats. Dust off the excess where the glitter came off. And I might have to redo the midsection, but we'll see how it comes out. Might wind up doing an ombre, or if the red covers it, I'm all good. I think it was still a little tad wet. Just when you do this, make sure it's completely dry so it doesn't stick to the other paint. And you just tap it to get the excess off. So I did the bottom, and now the bottom is a lot smoother. And if you missed any kind of edges, I don't know if you can see right there, you can push it down, 1, 2, and rub it around, and you should get any colors that you missed. And you just tap it to get the excess off, and then you let it dry for an hour. I feel like this has good coverage on the bottom, so now it's just doing the other layers and fixing this, because it's not coming off, which means my paint wasn't dry. Just make sure, like I said before, make sure your paint's all dry. You can always tape it up. You can always tape it up, and you know, so it doesn't get on everything. So when I come back, it should all be glittered all together. It'll be all glittered. See you soon. After you glitter and seal it with the glitter glue for like a second time, you can check everything, make sure everything's good. Then you're gonna go to your cup turner, so whatever is easier for you. You're gonna put the tumbler in and put it on the arm. This is what it looks like when you put it in. Make sure you clean all the excess off, especially near the tumbler, so you don't get it. See how I have a piece there? So you don't get it on there, so it won't seal when you're sealing it in there, making it messy. Then you push it on. I need 2 hands for this because I'll ruin my arm. Really, with this tumbler turner, you should put it on first before you screw it in. So that's the cake so far, and I'm going to put like 3 to 4 coats on, and then I'm gonna sand it. Always remember to have gloves. This is a Crystalac product, or you can use resin. The choice is yours. Sorry if the camera's a little shaky. Trying to put the Crystalac on. You know, rub it on. I sometimes start it without turning the turner on. It's just what works for me. But really, just flip the switch and spray a little and rub it on gently. Don't work it too much because you'll have streaks. And you just continue until all the glitter is covered. And this crystal that I have is the bright tone. It's a bright tone from the Crystal Company. Let me say it correctly. This one is every 4 hours to be applied. And then you let it dry for the 4 hours and you can continue with coats. They also have a grand finale, which is every 2 hours, which I'm waiting for that shipment to come in. And you just apply it every 2 hours, 3 to 4 coats, based on the thickness of your glitter. And after 3 to 4 coats, you sand it and make sure everything is smooth. If it's not smooth, you add more coats and repeat the process as needed. And then after that, we'll go to the next step, which would be adding, in some cases it's vinyl, but in this case I'm going to add, I believe, just clay pieces for the Nutcracker silhouettes. Stay tuned. After I did about 3 coats, I sanded with a 120 grit sandpaper sponge. FYI, always remember to wear a mask so you don't get any dust particles in your nose or your mouth. I was checking to see if I had any bubbles or bumps that might not make the cup smooth. After that, I took a terry cloth and wiped all the dust away and started putting more coats. So I applied, I think, about 3 more coats, but you can apply as many as you want. And remember, every 4 hours between coats for the bright tone, every 2 hours for the grand finale. And try not to overwork it, like I said before, because it can leave streaks. after I finished applying those coats, I took my clay pieces and started to paint them. Once I painted them, which was a Nutcracker, a present, a bow, the Rat King, Clara, the tree, and I also had a elf pushing a present, but that didn't work out. I also broke the Rat King, and I had to glue his legs on before I put him on the tumbler, but sometimes that just happens. Then I applied all the clay pieces with Beacon's 3-in-1 glue in different places around the cake, and then I let it dry. Okay, friends, so here's the finished tumbler. I hope everyone enjoyed watching this tutorial. I will be creating all different types of tumblers in the future. Come back to watch and see what's next. Also, follow me on all my social media platforms. Please like, watch, share, comment, and follow. Till next time, have a great day, and always remember to live your joy.